Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are opening up the playbook for modern web developments. We're going to build a full-stack React application right from the ground up.
You know, it's the question every single developer faces. You're staring at a blank screen, an empty folder, and the ecosystem of tools out there, it's just massive. It can feel pretty overwhelming, right? But what looks like a maze is actually a journey with a really clear, well-traveled path.
So to make sense of all this, we're going to use an analogy. We're building a house. We're going to see exactly how a modern React app comes together, piece by piece, from pouring that digital foundation all the way to installing the smart features that make it feel alive. Okay, let's dive in. Every great project, I don't care if it's a skyscraper or a web app, it starts with a rock-solid foundation. This is where we lay out the core structure and pick the absolute essential tools for the job. Getting started is, believe it or not, surprisingly simple. That first command, npm create vite, that's like laying down the architect's blueprint for our house. It gives us the whole basic file structure. And the second command, npm I, well, that's like calling in the trucks to deliver all of our construction materials, all the libraries and packages we need. For this project, we're using a really powerful trio. Vite, think of this as our super fast, high-tech power tool that just makes development a total breeze. Then you've got Tailwind CSS. That's our versatile interior design kit, letting us style everything on the fly. And finally, Daisy UI. That gives us all the prefabricated parts, like windows and doors, so we don't have to build every single button from scratch. All right, foundation's poured. Now it's time to build the walls and design the interior. This is the part of the house the user will actually see and live in. It is all about crafting that user experience. Forms. We've all been there. They seem so simple on the surface, but managing what the user types in, validating it, showing clear error messages, it can turn into a tangled mess fast. Luckily, the modern playbook has a fantastic solution for this. Check this out. This trio works together in perfect harmony. React Hook Form, it handles all that complex state management behind the scenes, so we don't have to. Yup lets us define our rules, like, hey, this field must be a valid email, in a really clean, readable way. And the resolver, that's the crucial bridge that lets the two talk to each other. It's beautiful. So as our app gets bigger, we hit this really common architectural challenge. Imagine you need to get a piece of information from the front door of the house all the way to a light switch in an upstairs bedroom. Prop drilling is like having to hand that piece of info to every single person in every room along the way. It's just so inefficient and messy. Now, to solve this, React actually gives us a built-in tool called the Context API. Think of it like creating a central electrical panel for our house. We can make data available globally, so any component can just tap into it directly. It's a great starting point, for sure, but as we'll see, for a truly smart home with lots of constant updates, it can have some performance issues. Okay, so our house needs to interact with the outside world, right? Like, maybe it needs to check the weather online. The use effect hook is what we use for these kinds of side effects. The absolute key here is its dependency array. It's basically a list that tells the hook, hey, only go check the weather again if the location changes. This prevents a ton of unnecessary work. Now think of useRef as a special tool that you can attach directly to something in your house, like a specific window you want to open automatically. Its value can change without forcing you to repaint the entire room. This makes it absolutely perfect for directly interacting with things, or for just keeping track of values without causing a cascade of updates. This hook is a serious performance optimization tool. Imagine you give instructions to a smart device in your house. Without useCallback, you're basically handing it a brand new rewritten instruction sheet every single second, which causes it to reprocess everything every time. useCallback makes sure the device knows it's the exact same instruction as before, which prevents all that wasteful re-rendering of our components. So our house looks great from the inside, but it's not connected to the city's power grid or water mains yet. Now we're installing the plumbing and the wiring, the APIs that connect our beautiful front end to a powerful back end. So, during construction, our front end and back end are on two different addresses, and browser security rules, this thing called cores, stops them from talking to each other. The Vite proxy is this brilliant little development trick. It tells our front-end server, hey, anytime you see a request for the /API address, don't even try to handle it yourself. Just pass it straight through to the back end. And just like that, problem solved. Handling file uploads is super critical. In this modern flow, the file never even touches our server's hard drive. The user uploads it, a back-end tool called Molter catches it in temporary memory, and then it immediately streams it off to a dedicated cloud storage service. It is fast, it's scalable, and it's secure. And the reverse is just as secure, which is awesome. The user doesn't get a direct link to the file out in the cloud. Nope. Instead, they have to ask our backend for it. Our backend first checks, hey, are you allowed to have this? And then it fetches the file from the cloud and streams it down to them. Our server basically acts as a secure validation gateway.
Okay, our house is built and it's connected. Now it's time for the real magic. We're adding the smart home features that make it feel alive and dynamic. Things that happen instantly without the user ever having to hit the refresh button.
Remember that context API, our central electrical panel? Well, for data that changes all the time, like a live security feed, it can be pretty inefficient. It's like repowering the whole house just for one tiny change. A library like Zustand, on the other hand, is way more surgical. It lets our components subscribe to only the tiny pieces of data they care about. This leads to far fewer re-renders and a much, much faster app. You know, the standard web runs on HTTP. It's kind of like sending letters. You send a request, you wait for a while, and eventually you get a response. But for real-time features, we need a telephone call, an open, persistent connection where both sides can just talk whenever they want. And that is exactly what WebSockets give us. And this right here, this is the whole game changer. This is the core power of libraries like Socket.io, which manage these WebSocket connections. The server no longer has to sit around and wait for the client to ask for new info. If a new message arrives or some Dota updates, the server can instantly push that update out to every single person who's connected. This is the engine that drives live chats, notifications, and all those cool collaborative tools. So you see, this isn't just a random collection of tools at all. From Vite and Tailwind for that solid foundation, to React Hookform for smooth interactions, all the way to Zustand and Socket.io for that real-time magic, this is a complete, cohesive playbook for building really modern and powerful full-stack applications. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?